Ecuador has just scored the first goal of the 2022 FIFA World Cup, courtesy of Valencia. Just within 3 minutes, and it's also a goal there.
Thank you.
Better tomorrow, fire, and then that is why this tournament is for the youth. And football also is a unifying factor. Whether it's Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, we hear football, everybody comes alive. And what it is, it's another goal! Game.
Welcome here on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. Adeni G. Shafe. What's the way to go? Looking at those artistic nature of that particular football match, we wonder how Nigerians are so talented when it comes to the sport of soccer or football. Well, we'll be looking at a lot of story yesterday. What a night for Chelsea. What a night for them to be able to at least turn this around. They were able to win that game. Chaloba, the man of the moment, getting back from that loan spell, and now he has taken over. Well, let's see what happened concerning that. We'll be looking at that particular Chelsea story, and also the table. How is it going right now with other clubs over there in England, also in Nigeria? Sport is getting better, coming from the NSC, because they are trying to see how they can do a lot to change how it's supposed to be when it comes to sports administration in Nigeria. Aside that, NFF too are trying their best to see how they can revamp the issue of officiating in Nigerian League. More of these stories will be coming your way on the show 360 Sport, where we always take you around the world of sport, especially focusing on Nigerian sport development. But right now, we'll be starting with the first story that has to do with Nigerian athletes' welfare coming from the NSC. Ali Onyali, others named as NSC List Elite Athletes Development and Podium Board. That's a good one coming from the National Sports Commission, trying to see how they can create a better welfare package for athletes. And they deem it fit to appoint about 13 Nigerians who are really doing so well, or have done so well in their respective endeavors. And now they have to set that particular committee up or board up for them to see how they can easily get the best welfare for Nigerian athletes. They don't want to hear any issue that has to do with us going for competitions and issue of remunerations or welfare becoming a big deal. That's why NSC set up this particular board to see into the welfare of athletes in Nigeria. Well, let's look at the list of those setups that have been given the nod to be able to do this. Elite Athletes Development and Podium Board, we have Yusuf Ali. If you follow Nigerian sport, you know that Yusuf Ali is a household name when it comes to sport, and really he has done well with Edo State Sports Commission. Also, be an athlete for Nigeria for what he did then when he was running for this country. He's the Chief Executive Officer. Bambo Akane is a consultant and member of the committee. If you be hearing of making of the champions, Bambo Akane is the CEO. Professor Ken Anogueje, advisor and member. Dr. Emmanuel Igbinosa, Saliu Abubakar, Aku Agazu, Tunde Adelakun, Professor Sadiq Abdullahi, Mary Onyali, the Queen of Tracks. If you follow Nigerian athletes history, you remember Mary Onyali for what she did when she was still running for Nigeria then. Hawakulu Akiyemi, Sunday Odebode, Olalekun Alabi, and you have Bamiduro Olumide are the secretary of that particular elite athlete development and Podium board. Well, that's a good one coming from the NSC, trying to see how they can get the best for Nigerian athletes. Gone are those days when we begin to hear different stories concerning our athletes, especially when they go for outing internationally. So they deem it fit to set up this 13-man committee for them to see how they can really work on elite athletes and also their Podium finish there. Well, good one there coming from there. Now, right now we have in the studio usual suspect, I always call him, although not suspect for bad thing, but for sport. Let's talk with Onyali Peter is here. Good to have you.
Thank you, Adini. I'm getting used to,
the usual suspect.
To your introduction of the usual suspect. It's good to be here talking sport on 360 Sport on Trust TV as we do every day from 10 o'clock to 11 o'clock in the morning. Okay, so I think this is a very good development, even though I have my own reservation as usual.
Of course, you always have reservation for that.
I have a reservation on this because it's like we are fond of having a committee upon committee upon committee. Now, why this is a very good development, to look into the welfareism of the athlete, is it that under the NSC, we don't have a department that oversees or that looks into the welfareism of the athlete. So what's going to happen? Are they going to have an overseeing responsibility over the welfare department of the NSC? What are their mandates? What are the areas that they need to look into? See, the problem we're having with sports in general in Nigeria is not about the welfareism, because we have some people that they are here and they are ready to serve their father's land, not because of the money, but because they believe they want to give back to the country that have given to them. At least, no matter how you take it, you can't take it away that you are giving back as a Nigerian. So that alone, it's something that you should be able to give back to your nation. What about the preparation for all this competition and what have you? Do you still need to set up another committee? We not call them the elite this time around, we call them the preparation committee for. So I think we need to really have a way of streamlining all this protocol committee that we have to make it run. We have to, first of all, sit down, look at what are the problems that are facing the Nigerian sports in general. Then from there, we'll now be dissecting it one after the other. Preparation, ethnicity, tribalism, welfare package, and what would I call it, insecurity, and what have you. Put everything in the basket and start picking it one after the other. Then after that, we now summarize it and come up with a roadmap, a process that will even be approved, if possible, signed into law, that whoever comes in as the sport minister or whoever comes in as the chairman of the NSC will follow this route. Not that Adeni will be there today, this is what he wants to do. Probably after 3-4 years or what have you, another person will come, you look at it, no, this is not the development or this is not the roadmap I want to follow. We've been seeing a lot of committees. There's one that then the great mathematician Odegbami, they were set up for the football. So we're just having it left, right, and center. So at times we even be confused that what is their mandate, what are they supposed to do? So I think it is high time for us to come together as one in terms of sport, look at all the problems we're having, have a roadmap, approved process that will start from the grassroots. Irrespective of who is coming in, we'll follow that roadmap and continue to work with it. Not the one that NSC will come today, and then NSC will come tomorrow. Everybody will be bringing their own idea. It shouldn't be anybody's idea. It should be the idea. It should be a process idea. It should be an idea that Nigerians must follow. It should be a template that we need to follow, right from primary school, secondary school, higher institution, What happens to the Nipoga game? What happens to the Nuga games? What happens to the interstate, inter-house sport? What happens to all those? So you can't say welfareism is the problem people are facing when it comes to that. What about sponsoring? The sponsorship also, what about it? So I think we have a lot to really do. As far as I'm concerned, I think this is not the next thing that we need, to be honest with you.
But recent, to be candid, to some extent, NSC have been trying to see how they can turn a lot of things. We've seen the issue of, you just mentioned welfare now. We've seen different federations. Just recently, they had to, all the Secretary General of all the federations were actually reposted, and they try to see how they can revamp all the facilities. Those are moribund, a lot of things, because if, let's just say ourselves the truth, a lot of things actually happen concerning sports. So they are taking their time, but from what they've done so far, kudos, they actually deserve a lot of kudos, because if we check it, it's as if our sport is like, what's happening? A lot of different things are beginning to spring up. We've seen so many federations now begin to come, okay, if this, the national body are doing this, then we too need to do something. And we are beginning to see changes. No matter how it is, no matter how slow it is, but we are moving. And it's far, far better, because as if the duo of Shehu Diko and Olapade coming together, the DG and the chairman of NSC, to some extent, if you check it, I think it's one of those appointments that really got the right perspective from the Mr. President, and it's going well. So let's begin to admit that, okay, things are moving, even though it's slow, but it's getting better.
Yes, you can't take it away from Shehu Diko and Olapade in terms of their experience. They are veteran when it comes to sport administration in the countries, and they've done a lot to earn a place where they are currently right now. However, you know, what they are seeing may be different from what we are seeing, because they are there, but we are here, so we are seeing it more than them. To start with now, okay, let's assume that this committee of
elite
athletes and whatever
development and podium board.
Yes, so they did very well. They agreed to improve on the welfareism of our athletes. Now, where is the infrastructure that the athletes will work with?
That's why I mentioned, as you remember when he was here, he mentioned that they are trying to see how they can revamp, at least in all geopolitical zones, at least a stadium. They will make sure they fix, at least in all these 6 geopolitical zones, fix a stadium, and then make sure all these things are put in place, so that if they have facilities enough, or at least they have a place where they can always gather to compete, that will actually speak volume for them, the athletes.
Revamping those infrastructure facilities, I think, should be the first that we should set up committees to look into. Because if you are looking into their welfareism and there's no preparation or adequate preparation for them, don't let us take it away from them. They've done very, very well. But the problem we're having in this country in general is issues have been so deteriorated that before you can see the impact of what they are doing, it will take like 2-3 years. And we know us in this country, we are impatient. We're always looking for the result. We are not a process person that, okay, let's follow this process in one way or the other. You do the welfare, you improve the welfare, no issue. But if there's not facility for the athletes, like for example now, I know you go to the stadium every day. What is going on right there now is an eyesore. It's an eyesore, to be honest with you. And the same thing, we talk about Surulere. These are the stadiums that if you have them up and running, they can take care of a lot. And then we don't have a maintenance culture also. We have a lot of stadiums in Nigeria that we can really, so to me, I think fixing those, revamping those decayed facilities to make us have at least up to standard or semi up to standard infrastructure in the country should be our priority, and how to maintain them. Not someone will come to them and tell you that, okay, don't worry, I'm going to repair this for you. Then what about the maintenance? Before you know it, they will turn all the places to something else, you know. So I think they should also look into that. I'm not taking it away from them that the welfareism that they want to look into is not important. It is very important, but we should just take it step at a time. Looking at the infrastructure also, I think is very, 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 very key.
Very key there. Looking at that particular show, that's to do with Nigerian sportsmen and women. Right now, they have a board set up to see into their welfareism coming from the NSC, National Sports Commission, try to turn things around. And really, we know it's not easy, but at least we are seeing glimpses of hope coming to that particular sector that holds the country together. When it comes to sport, There's no religion, no tribalism. All of us come together to support Super Eagles, Super Falcons, all the teams representing the green, white, green. That's why we look at that particular story. Still talking about Nigerian sport, but this time around we move straight to football, where the Nigerian Football Federation to revamp, as you speak right now, trying to revamp the domestic league, emphasizes on referee development. If you check it, it's getting better. Gone are those days. On the show, we've always talking about referee being beaten or molested, but it's getting better now. It's hardly do we report that has happened, although we still find it, but not as incessant as it used to be. So, as it is right now, kudos to NFF through trying to see how they can revamp the domestic league, not only the MPFL, NNL, NLO, and even women football, Nigerian Women Football League, trying to get everything in place for us to get it better. That's a good one coming from the NFF.
Yeah, I think it's a very good one, because the function and the functionalities of a referee cannot be taken for granted when it comes to football. They can make or mar a match. They give confidence. Like, for example, if some clubs are playing in Europe and a particular referee is going to be at the center, people will have this biasness that, oh, don't worry, this referee belongs to, he's always favoring. That's when they'll be bringing the history that, okay, for the last 10 matches, they have awarded 10 penalties, 2 red cards to the opposites. So it is something that is very, very important. So I think the NFF, they are doing a very good job now. They are doing a good job in the sense that we've seen improved officiating in this country, unlike what we used to know before. And why is it that there is sanction in place already? If there is a misconduct or unethical practice from any of the team, within 24 hours, they will issue a statement. The sanction will come out, and the team will be sanctioned appropriately. So I think it's a very good one. And this is something that will give people confidence. Unlike those days, I won't mention the team, but I will mention the stadium I went to. The stadium is in southwestern part of the country. We went to watch a domestic league, and the home team, they needed 3 points not to be relegated. That's about 10 years ago or thereabouts. And the opposite team, they are like not even, because they too, they need a point to escape relegation. So it's more like a relegation battle. Do you know the referee is telling the players of the home team that what you need to do is just enter the box 18. And the opposite team, they've had that. So anybody coming to the box 18, they'll push them out because they needed that 3 points. And I will shock you with this, Adeni. An incident occurred outside the box 18 because when the opposite team goes to know that, okay, what they are trying to do is to enter the box 18, either you touch them or you don't touch them, they'll just fall down, and that will be a penalty. So they tried to do that. That was about 5 minutes to the end of the match. Do you know a foul occurred outside the box 18, and the referee pointed inside the box 18 that it's a penalty? That happens. We've seen a situation whereby a team will be needing about 6 or 7 goals to to stay in the league without getting relegated, and they will get it. We've seen a situation whereby they are giving 10 minutes, 12 minutes, 15 minutes as extra time in this country. It has happened before. We are all aware of it. Just for them to score the goal. But for the past 2-3 years, we've not seen that again. So the confidence is there for us to go there and watch beautiful football. I think they are doing very well. They should continue to improve on it. And those people, the bad eggs that want to give us a bad name, seriously, they should be dealt with. We want to see the next AFCON, Nigerian referees to be recognized. We want to see the next World Cup, the Nigerian referees to be recognized, because I've said it times without number. We have the human resources that can do it. But it is the environment that we find ourselves that make it nearly impossible at times for us to be able to bring out the best that we have in us. But as far as we're concerned, I think they're doing a very good job right now.
Considering what you just mentioned there, Lalif just making it clear that as it is right now, we can't get it right because our referees also have a chance to be named for competitions, just like NFL President Ibrahim Musso said, he said that as it is right now, it's very painful that we don't have a Nigerian referee being recognized by CAF for the fact that things are not going well. But from what they are doing, they have about 10 under 19, or about 20 of them under 19 young referees who are refereeing games across Nigeria. No one has actually complained. That shows that they've really been upgraded to know all the rudiments and all the technical know-how of officiating, and also knowing what is at stake right now, because everything changes almost every time. As it is right now, it's getting better. They're trying to see how they can get all the referees in Nigeria to that level where they are up to date concerning FIFA, CAF regulations. That's a good one coming from the Nigerian Football Federation. Well, as we always say, the sport, Nigerian sport is getting, no matter how slow, it's getting better. Well, looking at the fact that it's getting better, maybe, although my own, the color of my blue suit is bluish, I think it's even getting darker than you. Are you a Man City fan now? What happened?
Immediately I entered the studio and you look at my outfit.
It just occurred to me.
I knew you say something about it, but let me allow you to continue.
It occurred to me that what happened? Your guy is turning.
Sky has always been blue.
But we have deep blue. We have
blue is blue.
Sky blue.
Blue is blue. Is the best
so when
color.
you say sky has only been blue, is it not sky blue of Man City?
No, it depends on the weather.
Okay,
Yes.
so you are a weatherman.
It can be sky blue, it can be deep blue, it can be dark blue, it can be light blue.
Okay, that takes us to what happened yesterday. Actually, the deep blue team, not deep blue sea anyway, deep blue team, they did well. Chelsea, the Blues, they did well. A particular player back to Chelsea, his name is Chaloba, really fantastic yesterday, was all over the pitch, about 99, very correct touch. Looking at the touch map of this particular player, he showed his class, he did so well there. He did so well looking at his performance in that particular encounter for Chaloba, fantastic player, getting a hug from Enzo Maresca. It's always a special one when you get that particular, this type of hug from your manager. Well, for what he did that game yesterday, fantastic.
Yeah, I pick him as...
Sorry, I just have to take this. Looking at this particular Chaloba's touch, look at it. This is the touch map against Wolverhampton Wanderers. Almost everywhere on the pitch. Look at it. Almost 99% accurate, all his passes. It was as if going to Crystal Palace has really refined him.
No, Crystal Palace didn't refine him. Chelsea made him.
Okay.
But it's so unfortunate that when Enzo Maresca came, he didn't settle himself down to really know what he wants, who he wants, and how he wants to go with the process before saying someone is surplus to requirements. And I love what the guy did.
By proving to him
that is how to prove your people that doesn't believe you. That's how to prove them wrong. Other players will say, no, I don't want to come back again because you've told me you don't need me. So why do you need me right now? So it shows that, okay, him coming from the Chelsea academy, he loved Chelsea with his heart. So when the need arises, they went for him. He came. He didn't come alone. He came and he proved the coach very, very wrong. Yesterday, it was all over. To me, I'll give him the man of the match.
He actually got it. So
because I said, at times the Premier League will give a man of the match, and
to
other people who said no. To me, he's the man of the match. He got an assist also yesterday. In fact, if I'm him, I'll be very angry with Madueke, what he did, because without him touching the ball is already entering the net. So what he did was just, okay, let me just
push it.
So whatever happened, he deserved what he got yesterday. Take it from me, when he broke into the Chelsea first team, we knew what he did. He's not a centre back that will sit. No. He's not a libero or a stopper. He can play in all formation, irrespective of what he wants to do. You can see him yesterday. You'll be asking at times that, okay, is he playing from the midfield? Are they changed the formation? It was all over, and all his tackles were accurate. So these are the things that we are missing. We've said it before, that Chelsea, they are not ripe or ready to challenge the title, and that's the honest truth. The reason is, if you look at their defense, if you look at their attack, you can have someone like Nicholas Jackson as your striker in a team, and you are expecting to win Premier League. It is not possible. It is never possible to have that. Then for the defense also, Badiashile, Daisy, or what's his name? I don't even know how he became a professional footballer to start with.
Out of Adarabioyo.
Tosin is doing very well. He got a goal yesterday. He's doing very well, and not only yesterday. If you look at his matches also, but this same Enzo Maresca, he doesn't believe in him. He has to prove him Right, so that is the issue. So I'm not surprised about his performance yesterday. The performance has been there, the skills has been there, but he's so unfortunate, unfortunately now, unfortunate in the sense that the coach doesn't believe in him, but the club believes in him. Now that the need arises, he came to the rescue. So I think a fantastic performance from him. I think we should just keep it up and continue to improve on that, because the Chelsea defense, they have to do a lot.
What about Palmer yesterday?
How
would you rate Palmer?
Okay, so I think Palmer not only yesterday, at times normally have off day, because you can't get it right all the time, and it wasn't in the match yesterday, and I don't know, probably because of the injury he sustained.
In fact, a lot of people were doubtful that maybe he wouldn't even play.
Yes, he wouldn't even play. If you're a fan of Fantasy Premier League FPL, they pray that his percentage of playing is 75%. So nobody's even sure if he's playing or not until when the team list came out and we saw his name. They probably play through the injury. We don't know, and we don't want to know. The fact that we saw his name there, that means he's fit before he can play. So Chelsea needs to have a backup. It shouldn't be without Palmer, there's no Chelsea.
Like yesterday, Palmer should have just be on the bench.
On the bench, all through. Give the other players the opportunity to chance. That's one thing I like about Guardiola at times, and even Mikel Arteta. They take a gamble, and that gamble may pay or it doesn't pay.
Because you have a competition now.
Exactly.
In case Palmer is beginning to see himself as if no other person, someone else can go there, challenge him to get his best out.
It shouldn't be automatic shots. You are injured, you are now 100% fit, and you need to be 100% fit before you can play that match, because that match yesterday against Wolves, it means a lot to Chelsea. If they had lost the match or they draw the match, it would have been difficult for them, because they are playing Man City next. So the top four, if you look at the point difference between second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth position, is more like 1 point goal difference. So it's going to be like that till the end of the season. So it's a must-win match for them yesterday. You can see the way all of them were happy that they won the match. So as far as I'm concerned, they have to do something about the Palmer. João Felix also is a good player. Take it or leave it. He can come in, but you need to give them the confidence that I believed in you. You are leading 3-1. You have about 10 minutes to go. What stopped you from making that change? Still look at Saka, for example. That's the problem Arsenal is facing right now. At least for a very long time, I've never seen where Saka was out for over a month. And up to now, they are still finding it difficult to get his replacement. Up to now, they are still suffering it. Even
though Onyali is trying to keep up, but the issue seems to be bigger.
No matter how Tongue try to contact the nose, it will just remain this one. And that's this one that you're talking about, maybe 10, 15, 30 years. So it's a long process for Onyali to be able to. I'll even take it that is an insult to compare Onyali performance with Saka performance. I would just take it from that. It's going to be an insult to, but he is trying, but not up to that level of saying, no, which brother between Onyali and Saka? No, we shouldn't go there. Saka is one of the best wingers we have in the world. I'm not even talking about Premier League. He's a prolific striker.
Chelsea should give people like João Felix a chance to also. I think Enzo Maresca just have to believe in his players. To some extent, if you check, he seems to not to see some players, okay, they are good enough. Okay, look at Chalobah now. If he didn't come back, no one will say, look at that performance yesterday. That shows that to some extent, a lot of people are saying, okay, maybe Ola, look at how he's doing with Nottingham Forest, the former Chelsea player. And as it is right now, Enzo Maresca just have to believe more on his players. Well, that's it. To look at how it is now. The Blues are really climbing, no matter how it is. Let's look at how it is in the table. They're right now behind others, but still, let's have the table play so that we can look at what's happening there. Looking at Liverpool, Arsenal, Nottingham Forest, Chelsea. Chelsea now 4 points, just 10 points. Let me use the word just behind Liverpool.
Yeah, I think you shouldn't be comparing Chelsea points with Liverpool. You'll be comparing Chelsea points with Arsenal. Because like I said earlier on, I don't see Chelsea competing for the Premier League title. That's the honest truth. The only team I think that can compete for this the Premier League, I'll still pick Manchester City. Because they've gotten back their rhythm. And that's one thing about football. You lose some, you win some. But
You think they can make... Okay, Man City now, they are 12 points behind Liverpool.
So the question we should be asking ourselves is, Liverpool, they've never had any off-season this season. It has been going on for them. They've been winning, they've been winning, they've been winning, they've been winning. Even because of their last match against Brentford that they won, if they had drawn that match, it would have been, so that means their own off-season is coming also. And it's better for you to have your off-season around November, December, January than for you to have the off-season around March or April. That is when it will be difficult for you to recover. Look at Manchester City, they are recovering. Look at Arsenal, they recovered also, and they are getting it right. So look at Nottingham Forest. Their own is not even for Premier League. Their own is they want to play in Europe. Either they play in Champions League or they play in Europa. So that means they are doing very well for now. So I think Liverpool really needs to really watch it. Yes, 50 points. A lot of people will look at it, this is a massive point. But just about 3-4 matches. 4 matches
for Man City, they can catch up.
So 4 matches, and don't forget that Liverpool, they are yet to play Arsenal. They lost to Nottingham Forest. And if you look at their matches this season, they concentrate more on winning the mid-table team and what have you than the top seed, the top 7. They struggle against Nottingham Forest. They lost against Nottingham Forest.
But I fear for Man City a bit. You know why? The next 6 matches is going to be against the top teams in the Premier League.
And that's never been
Newcastle, Chelsea, Liverpool, all of them.
That has never been a problem to Manchester City.
Okay.
It has always been a privilege for them, an opportunity to play the big boys. But the smaller ones like the Manchester United of page two United, playing them now, it's more like, okay, they will have something to prove. But Manchester City, when it comes to playing Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle, I don't think it's going to be a problem. So their next 5-6 matches, don't be surprised they can get 12 points out of it. They can get out of it.
Now, going back to that particular table there, let's see have it there. I just want to bring out something there. You look at the table for this season, the top 10. Barely would you see the big boys, Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, right? You check Fulham, Brighton, Aston Villa, Bournemouth, Nottingham Forest, all try their best to make sure they remain among the top 10. So automatically, the way the season is going now, 22 matches, you have roughly 10 matches to go or thereabout, and you'll be wondering rather, 16 matches to go, 16 matches to go, and you'll be wondering, okay, if the way it's going now, there's every possibility that you're going to have one of those mid-table teams nearly or making it to Champions League.
I totally agree with you. Especially we should look out for Nottingham Forest and we should look out for Newcastle. And what is working for the two teams is the investment of the last 2 and 3 years. We saw what Newcastle did also. They invested in new players. They bought in a lot of players from 2022 up to last year. They did a lot of investments when the new owner came in. Nottingham Forest also, they broke the record of signing in about 22 players within 2 years. And it is those 22 players that they are now working and playing as a unit, as a team. You cannot mark out a player in Nottingham Forest that, okay, Chris Wood, once I mark you out, you won't be able to do anything.
Others are coming at you.
If you mark Chris Wood out, you see Gibbs White coming out. You see Onyali coming out. You see Elanga coming out. So they are playing as a team, and their keeper and their defenders also. So it's like they're the same thing with Newcastle. Before Alexander Isak picked up the last 5-6 matches, he has not been scoring. Nobody remember Almiron again. They're still in Newcastle. So these are the players, these are the team that they've invested for the past 2-3 years. So their investment is yielding results. So both Newcastle and Nottingham Forest, I see them playing in Europe, either Champions League or Europa. 16 matches is still a lot to go. Then I'm not surprised about the likes of Brighton, because Brighton happens to be one of the teams in Premier League that have invested a lot in their academy. We can count number of players that came through Brighton that they are doing very well in other Premier League teams also. Then if you look at Fulham also, they're not here by chance also. They've been fantastic for the past 2 seasons. Mid-table, but they are pushing very, very, very well. Then also, you can't take it away from
Aston Villa.
I'm sure it's because they are playing in Champions League is what is kind of affecting their position the way it did last season also. So then Bournemouth, I would take it that they are the surprise team among all the top 10. Because when Dominic Solanke was leaving, and that's one thing we're talking about, give other players the chance and the opportunity to grow. I mean, to grow and to shine. When Dominic Solanke was leaving to Tottenham, we were like, wow, what's going to happen? But Kluivert came up.
And he's doing excellently well.
He has had 2 hat-tricks for Bournemouth and this season. We have Semenyo also still doing very well in Bournemouth also. So that shows that you must give players. There are some players that when they are in the team, like for example, if Alan should leave Man City today, you see a lot of players coming up to fill in that vacuum that he's going to create, to let people know that, okay, no, he's a world-class striker, you can't take it away, but we can do something. So that's why I think it's going to happen in Premier League this season. The way the table is now, that is why it will continue to change till the end of the season, from 10 to 8, 8 to 7, 4 to 5th. Apart from Liverpool, like I said, they have already secured their Champions League with what they have right now. Because I don't see them losing 10 points out of top 4, still having an outstanding match against Everton. So I don't see them dropping out of top 4. But top 4 is open to others.
Anyone.
Then the league also is not yet over, especially with the side talk of Mo Salah, Alexander-Arnold and Van also concerning their contract. I think they need to really do something. If you watch the last match against Brentford, something is off with Salah.
Okay.
After the match, that they scored the second goal, everybody jubilated, they went to the corner. Salah wasn't far from where everybody was jubilating. He was the first person that left the pitch. He did not rejoice or jubilate with other players. So he just left the pitch. So that means something is seriously up. And you can't have your prolific or your best player, your informed player, the best striker as far as I'm concerned, or the winger in the world right now, and his issue of contract will be diggy-darling. Whatever the situation is, it's something that he needs to really sort out so that it will not affect their performance.
Okay, we'll be looking at the Premier League and what happened yesterday for Chelsea, where they are at least able to run riot against Wolverhampton Wanderers. And you look at Chalobah, the man has turned things around since he arrived, and really, he really shone like million stars for them. Looking at the touch map of his performance against Wolverhampton Wanderers there. And now, well, just a glimpse at the second side of the table. Let's have the second side, just a glimpse there. And you look at Brentford, Crystal Palace, Manchester United, -5 for them. West Ham, Tottenham Hotspur, Everton, Wolves, Ipswich Town, Leicester, and Southampton. What happened St. Mary's? There seems not to be ready. Well, Onuachu, that's his club as it is, despite the fact that he scored his first goal of the season, but it seems Southampton are not ready to move at all. It has been 6 points since when, considering 35 goals. That's goal difference. You can imagine from all they've scored, they have actually having -35. Well, that's a big one there. Tottenham and Manchester United.
Okay, I think Southampton to start with, their fate has been decided. They are going back to where they came from. Take it or leave it. It will be very difficult for them to really reverse this position. 6 points in 22 matches. Come on, if you look at it statistically, how many points per match? You have 18. If you can get 6 points from 22 matches, and you have 18 matches to go. So let's assume you're even getting 6 points from the 18 matches that you improve.
16, let's say 16 matches to go.
16 matches to go, you are getting 6 points. Whereas in 22 matches, you got only 6 points. Let's just dash them that they're going to improve. That will give them 12 points. So where will 12 points take them to?
At least they can come to NPFL.
So for them, take it or leave it then. For Manchester United, honestly, they have to do a lot because they are closer to relegation than to the Premier League. They're having 26 points currently right now. And Liverpool is having 50 points. So that's 24 points difference. And we have Southampton with 6 points and they are having 26 points, so 20 points. So they are closer to the down than they are to the up.
Amorim has been talking that this seems to be the worst so far sets of Man United players, but I'm looking at it, what's happening. Some of us say, okay, when you, in fact, it was like a comic anyway, when you allow De Gea to go and you allow Onana to be there, a midfielder, you actually call Onana a midfielder. You allow a midfielder to be a goalkeeper. What do you expect? For Manchester United, they will get their groove back, hopefully. It's a big one right now concerning these two teams, Tottenham Hotspur and Manchester United. They are not finding it easy at all, roaming in the midst of the bottom table from 13th to 16th. Even Everton too, David Moyes, let's see, maybe he can get his magic back and turn things around. We've been talking about the Premier League for the match that was played yesterday. Well, because of our time, we just quickly look at UEFA Champions League. Yes, match is up for grabs today. Match day 7. Well, as it says, Liverpool are still enjoying the tabletop out there in the UEFA Champions League. Also Barcelona, but these are games for today. Atalanta, Aston Grass. Ademola Lookman, will he be doing another hat-trick? Let's see what happens against the team from Austria, Aston Villa, Monaco, Atletico Madrid, Bayer Leverkusen, Benfica, Barcelona. What a match is going to be there. Bologna, Borussia Dortmund, Club Brugge, Juventus, lead away to Liverpool, and you have Red Star Belgrade against PSV Eindhoven, and Slovan Bratislava at home against Stuttgart of Germany. Well, let's just take it scoreline.
Okay, so if you look at it on paper, I think Atlanta, they are playing at home, so I think it's going to be a win for Atlanta, and I'm not seeing any surprising here. But if you look at Monaco and Aston Villa, it's going to be an interesting match to watch, because if you look at the history and the statistics behind the two clubs, and it's, I see a draw. Why do I say a draw? Aston Villa and Monaco, this is going to be the first meeting between the two clubs.
UEFA Champions League.
They've never met before. However, Monaco last 5 matches with English club, they are yet to lose. They won 4, they drew 1. However, Aston Villa, last 4 matches, or the fourth time that they've met a French team, they are yet to win. They lost 2 and they drew 2. So that shows that they are yet to win a French team. Then if you now look at the most interesting part now is the coach, Unai Emery of Aston Villa. When he was for PSG, he has met Monaco 6 times, is yet to lose. So he has a 100% winning record against Monaco. The Monaco has 100% winning record against English team. And Aston Villa is playing away from home. So it's going to be a very interesting match. It's the coach, the tactics, and the confidence that will win the match. If you look at both of them also in their league table, respective league table, they're not doing very well. We saw where Aston Villa is. Then also, if you look at Monaco also, they are not really among the top 10 teams in French league. But Champions League is very, very, very different with the new format now. So I probably see the team playing a draw.
Well, going back to that particular fixtures there, we know Liverpool, they are the table topper. They'll be facing Lille, the battle of the L teams. Expect Liverpool to at least be able to scoop this.
Okay, for the record, Liverpool, they've qualified.
Of course.
They've played 6 matches, and they've won the 6 matches. In fact, they've conceded only 1 goal in 6 matches, so they have 18 points. So that 18 points has secured them to play in the next round, either as top 8 or to play the 2-legged match. But what do they need today? They need just a draw. Once they get that draw, we'll give them 19 points. And that 19 points will guarantee them to be among the top 8, because the 9th position, it's having 14 points, and they have 2 matches to go. So 1 point is all what they need, and they are playing at Anfield, the most terrified stadium for any opponents to come and play. So I don't even see where Lille will be able to win Liverpool at Anfield with some of their players being in form. Yeah, we spoke about Salah earlier, but the good thing about Liverpool is if Salah is not picking, you have Luis Diaz there that is picking, Diego Jota is picking, Gakpo is picking. So they have a lot of players that can pick up and take it from there. So I see Liverpool winning comfortably tonight.
Always a good one to have the right list of players in your kitty. Looking at Liverpool, the Cubs, or the Red, the team that never really walk alone. Can they do it tonight against Lille? Well, looking at UEFA Champions League fixtures for tonight, match day 7 is a big one there. Barcelona, Benfica, another big game that will be coming up. Barcelona actually is second on the log. You have the likes of Atalanta also fighting hard among the big boys. Well, that's match day 7 or match day 8. That will be the last game where you see the big boys, the top 8. will make it, and then 9 to 24 have to fight for its space. Well, that's just to have a glimpse on the UEFA Champions League fixture. But before we go, let's talk on the transfer gossip, about 3 of them. Then we take the NBA result quickly. Chelsea agrees with a particular young player, £11.9 million deal for Strasbourg defender Mamadou Sarr. Mamadou Sarr has been with Strasbourg, a partner club with Chelsea, and now, as it is right now, they bought this player £8 million, and now 11.9. That's about extra 3-point-something million pounds.
They're making money in business, and that's one thing I do tell people about Chelsea when it comes to transfer. You look at the players that they bought, but nobody look at the net sales of these players. Yes, they buy a lot of players, but at the same time also a lot of players that they sold during the summer, if you net it off, it's way down the amount they spend in spending. So football is not about playing and winning, also it's about business, and transfer is part of the business in football.
Well, good one for that 19-year-old player, Mamadou Sarr. Expect him at least getting to become a world star later. Let's see how it goes. Still talking about defenders being bought. Manchester City, as we speak right now, they've been able to agree a deal and get that particular player called. His name is Abdulkadir Kusanov. That's talking about Man City, Manchester City now. Okay, well, from the way it is, let's take that Anthony to Real Betis on loan deal right now with no buy clause from United. Well, the man will be going to Real Betis, but they will not buy him outrightly. He can return back to Manchester United.
I think this is one of the good news that got to the Manchester United fans. They've been waiting for Anthony to seriously get a loan deal, and this may be an opportunity for him to rediscover himself also and come back to the Anthony of Ajax that we used to know. And like we do normally say, you see most of these players, they have a particular league that suits their style of play. Because if you look at the Anthony that we saw in Ajax and the Anthony that came to Manchester United with and having played under 3 or 4 different coaches, no improvement. So something is off about him. I think it's an opportunity for him. Maybe if you get more playing time, and also he's playing in a club that the pressure is not much, unlike the pressure in Manchester United right now. Maybe he'll rediscover himself, and the same club that said they don't want to buy him will be the one to go back. No, we've seen him that is a very good player.
No, Manchester United are the ones saying they don't want him to be taken outrightly.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay. That the club also may now be the one that, no, you say they want to
let's
take
cancel this clause.
Yes, we want to take it. Take him back. We've seen that happening with a lot of players.
Okay, good one there concerning Anthony. Hopefully he'll get his smile back by the time he begins to don the color of Real Betis. Let's take this last transfer story. A defender this time around, Abdulkadir Kusanov, is now a Manchester City player. Well, good one for him. This 22-year-old player cost a lot of about £33 million, as news are saying.
Yeah, and I think it's a good one for Manchester City, but I think they need to work more on their aged midfielders, and they need to really work on it. Silva is aged, Kevin De Bruyne is aged, Rodri is injured, so they need to really look into that. Their defense, as far as I'm concerned, they have a very good and solid defense right now, but I don't know, probably the coach is seeing what we are not seeing. That's why it went for
Abdulkadir.
Yeah.
Well, from Lawrence, let's see what we're offering that particular team. It's a defender. Well, Guardiola always knows what to do with players when it comes to buying them. And before we wrap it up, just a quick one on the NBA. Those who love basketball, a very short result there. Utah Jazz 119 against New Orleans Pelicans 123 in an overtime game. Well, Chicago Bulls against Los Angeles Clippers. It was a way they clipped them to 112 to defeat LA Clippers with 99 points, where Chicago Bulls actually got 112 in those 2 games that took place earlier today. We've taken you through the world of sport, from the story of NSC to NFF down to the Premier League, and we also look at UEFA Champions League tonight. It's back, and for those who love that particular league, it's now down to the wire because match day 7 is up, and they will be dragging for points tonight. We'll be giving you much more by the time we come on Sports Update later in the evening. Well, with us in the studio, Onyali Peters.
Thank you, Adeni. It's my pleasure being here.
Hopefully, you change this one to the deep blue.
Blue is always blue, either baby or deep one.
Oh my goodness. You just have to go down from the entire crew that has made this happen. I remain Adeni G. Shaffe. Sport is always business and fitness. Thanks for watching.